The Women's Fund of Southeastern Massachusetts is 19 years old, coming up on 20.
Coming up, we'll be 19 in the September.
All right. With a goal to help women reach their educational and economic potential. And I think the quote is, when she earns more, we are all stronger. And
that's it.
That's certainly true, and the community is stronger as well, for sure. Joining me to talk about the Women's Fund, Executive Director Valerie Bassett, and Lynn Poyant, who's a former board member and a former, a board member, now a committee member, volunteer, runner in the Tiara 5K,
yes,
and a former news director here.
Yes.
That's right, here at WBSM. To help women in the community, the Women's Fund sponsors an annual road race on Mother's Day. It's called the Tiara 5K. It's held in Mattapoisett, and this event has grown in recent years. How many runners, Valerie, do you expect?
Well, we usually have between 700 and 900 runners and walkers, and that also includes kids in the fun run.
Right.
So we're hoping for, we can take up to 1,000, so we've still got room for more.
So where does this run start? How do you put it all together? Mother's Day is a kind of a real family day, and I imagine the race is too.
It is. That's one of the things that is unique about the Mother's Day Tiara 5K. It really started with a group of women runners who said there's no race on Mother's Day in the region, and we want to put together a race and use it to benefit a local organization. So completely volunteer-driven, they put together this race and wanted it to focus on women, and they chose the Women's Fund for the proceeds. And ever since then, it's been a volunteer committee that really works hard to pull it together. And the theme is around honoring women in your life. And we find a lot of moms come and run with their kids, sometimes grandma, mom, and sons and daughters run. So we have face painting, we have a kids' fun run for 2 different ages, so it's definitely a family-friendly event.
Lynn, you weren't part of the original organization, were you?
I've been involved since almost the beginning. I think I started, I was there when Kate Fentress was executive director. Mm-hmm. It probably was a couple of years old when I was asked to join the board. I think I was working here at the time when I got involved with the Women's Fund, and I just the reason for the Women's Fund existing really resonates with me. So I'm glad to still be part of it.
Well, congratulations for sticking with it.
Mm-hmm.
Nonprofits need long-term members because they have history.
Mm-hmm.
They know the history. When there's a question, they can generally answer it or help you answer it. So it's good to have folks who are involved for long periods of time in any nonprofit.
Well, I feel in a lot of ways that the women being involved in the Women's Fund has helped me to grow as a person. And I've met some just wonderful people who are also involved in the Women's Fund. So we've formed this kind of community that is always growing, that is always supportive, not just of women, but of families, of men. It's just a very worthwhile and holistic organization to be involved with. So I wouldn't want to not be involved with them.
I know your family runs. Some of your family members.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And they're still running.
Yes.
And they'll be running in the Tiara.
Yes.
Okay. Very good.
Yes.
All right, just checking in on that.
If I could also add one cool thing,
Sure.
and that is that Lynn's husband is also a volunteer with the Women's Fund on our finance committee. A great example of how we need the support and involvement of men. He's been involved for a while as well.
Good.
And, sometimes people aren't clear if men can run Tiara. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Come and run. You can wear a tiara or not.
Okay. So can people still sign up?
Absolutely. Where there's a little more than a week to go. You can sign up on our website, womensfundsema.org, if that's for Women's Fund Southeastern Mass.org. And you can also call us at 508-717-0283 or like us on Facebook, and the event is on Facebook. And we're definitely still looking for runners. You can register the weekend of the race, Saturday, May 11th, from 1 to 5 at Oxford Creamery, and from 7 to 8:30 on Mother's Day itself. We'll still be registering runners.
Okay. So folks can still sign up by visiting websites or Facebook. I'm sure will get you there as well. Women's Fund of Southeastern Massachusetts. And you can still register right up until the day of the race. So if you're interested in getting involved, it's a great event. So tell me about, is there a fee to sign up? Or do you collect pledges?
There's a fee because it is a fundraiser for us. Sure. It's our biggest fundraising event of the year. So it's $30 for the 5K and $5 for the Kids Fun Run. We also have different corporate sponsors and people and organizations. So we thank all of our sponsors, and that's part of how we raise funds for the race. And sometimes people make additional donations. They might want to run in honor or in memory of a particular woman. So we keep a board and we print out on it people who've said, I'm running, for my mom, I'm running for my aunt. And people can write on it there so that it's a chance, as we've said, to kind of dedicate what you're doing to your family and important women in your life.
So how's the money used? That's a question I think that most people expect me to ask. Sometimes it's not quite as comfortable, but how is the money used?
No, absolutely. We're a nonprofit, so we rely on people's donations. We're a fund. We're a fund of the Community Foundation of Southeastern Massachusetts. So we're essentially a small foundation. We raise money, of course, to have our staff do the work we do, but the point is to really give the money away. So we give away money every year to work that helps benefit women's economic security. A couple of recent grants that we've given are that we gave $10,000 to the YWCA of Southeastern Massachusetts to create a part-time advocacy coordinator to help engage more women and girls in learning how the political process works, going up to the State House, getting involved locally, so that they have the power to make decisions and help make change.
That's a very important step that a lot of folks, men and women,
sure,
in this
civic engagement,
sometimes cast aside. So it's clearly a worthwhile investment for sure. You're listening to Townsquare Sunday. My guest, Valerie Bassett, who is the executive director of the Women's Fund, and Lynn Poyant, who is a volunteer with the Women's Fund now and a frequent runner in the Tiara 5K, which is happening on Mother's Day in Mattapoisett. So let's learn a little bit more about the Women's Fund. You talk about giving money away. Tell me how that works. Do you give money to individuals?
We don't. So as a fund, we give money to organizations that are registered nonprofits with the IRS, so they have a 501c3 number. And so that's really the main qualification. And we give money according to priorities that we help set up with other community members in a framework called the Economic Blueprint for Women. So you talked about our mission being for economic security. But the question is, how do we do that? So we brought together a group of local leaders to help come up with an agenda and a plan for what are the best ways to improve women's economic security. So we use that as our guide for how we give money away. And we really work with our partner grantees like the YWCA, and another recent grant was to the New Bedford Community Economic Development Corporation, working with low-wage immigrant women workers. So we work with them to help develop the grant, and then we hope to have a long-term relationship with them to support the work and have it grow.
One of these organizations have to show you in order for you to invest in them.
Sure. Well, the standard things that we ask for are you want to see a budget, you want to see a listing of board members, you want to see a well-thought-out proposal. And really, right now, because we're small, we are just giving out grants through invitation. So it's organizations that we've had a relationship with, and we know their track record. If we were a really giant foundation, You ask for a lot more things because you don't know the organizations applying, but we rely on what we know of organizations and what we know about their capacity to decide how we make grants. And we have a volunteer committee called our Social Change Investment Committee that helps us make that recommendation.
Any idea how much money has been awarded over the years?
Since our beginning, over $1 million. So we... Right now, we're getting ready to raise some more money for these grants. I wish we could give away $1 million a year, but it's a lot less year to year. But since our beginning in 2000, it's added up. And so we hope that we're making a better region for women, with the cumulative effect of those investments.
Now, the blueprint that Valerie has talked about is available on their website. I did look at it before during the week here to lead up to this interview. There was also another mention of a project called the Life Work Project. What is that? How is that a different program?
It is. I mean, it's connected to the Economic Blueprint for Women because it's a specific program that supports women to achieve economic security. And it's something that we've been piloting or incubating as a particular model to help a group of low-income women who all started out enrolled at Bristol Community College. And we provide coaching and goal setting, and they can earn financial incentives for achieving things like doing a certain amount of job interviews, making the dean's list, getting treatment for something that they need help with. And some of that money goes into a bank account. So they are all required to set up a joint savings account with us, and some they can use. And at the end, all of the women will be completing the program this summer. We'll provide up to $2,000 in the savings match. And it's been an incredible transformative program helping the women, none of whom, they're all from families where they're the first generation to go to higher education. They've all graduated or will be graduating this summer with an associate's and many with a bachelor's degree and some even going on to master's. So it's been an incredible success.
Valerie, could you share with us some success stories about these women who've gone on to do some great things? And Lynn, if you need to chip in with one yourself, that'd be fine.
Well, Jim, I just wanted to say, if I could, one of the things that I've learned being involved with the Women's Fund, and also that the Economic Blueprint for Women underscores, is that there's not just one thing that can be done. And so for the Wise Women program, for example, you find that what I've learned from these women who are in this program is that there are lots of obstacles. There's transportation obstacles. There's childcare obstacles. There's, I've gotten to this level and now I can get a promotion, but when I get a promotion, I lose my childcare that I'm getting. So the blueprint, we've explored all the different things that make it very challenging for a woman to reach that economic independence. And Valerie, I'm sure, can talk about, that all these things are important for us to become involved with, and for all of us to become involved with, because as the Women's Fund has learned, you help a woman, you help all of us.
That's correct. So Valerie, success story, give me one.
So I'll give a success story for a life work woman that tells the story both of how that program helped her, but also the power of investing in women as leaders and making these larger social changes. So there's one woman, and I will use her name because she's shared her story in many public venues, Millie, who came to New Bedford fleeing, having been in a shelter and domestic violence situation in New York. And she really had to start her life over. She hadn't finished high school because her boyfriend did not feel like she should have higher education than he. But she was determined to continue her degree and make her life better for her two twin daughters. So she got her GED. Then she signed up at BCC. She was in New Bedford public housing on public assistance, but she got involved in the Life Work Project. And as she started to have the support of our director, Manuela Rosa, setting higher and higher expectations for her, she just blossomed. She ended up earning honors at BCC. She became an ambassador for BCC. She did a special project where she created an educational forum for other students, for her peers, around dating and domestic violence. And she went on to transfer to a college, an excellent college, difficult to get into, Simmons College in Boston, where she's now studying social work. She's now living not in public housing. She's able to have childcare for her daughters, and she plans to go on to get a master's degree. And she's doing an internship right now with the Massachusetts Commission on the Status of Women to help plan Women's Advocacy Day. One of the things Millie did was she got involved in learning these civic engagement, democracy, and advocacy skills to help make bigger kinds of changes. So she worked with the Women's Fund on the Equal Pay Bill, and now she'll be working on universal child care. So she embodies, I think, both how we can help one individual woman and the power of supporting efforts to make larger change.
You're going to be leaving soon.
At the end of the summer, I'm planning to move on, although this is I must say, the job I've loved the most. It's a very special place and community, as Lynn said, at the Women's Fund.
Yeah. Well, good luck in the future.
Thank you.
All right. My guest has been Valerie Bassett and also Lynn Poyan, a volunteer at the New Bedford, at the Women's Fund, rather, of Southeastern Massachusetts. One more time for the Tiara 5K. Where can people go to sign up?
The easiest place is to go on Facebook and find the Women's Fund of Southeastern Massachusetts or search for Tiara 5K. You can also go to our website, womensfundsema.org.
Very good.
And all are welcome.
All are welcome, runners, walkers, all genders, kids. There'll be free ice cream afterwards, thanks to Oxford Creamery, our great host. So it's
That's
a great
why
day.
I do it.
Many of us do. So come and enjoy the day and help us support women in the community.
May 12th, Mother's Day, the Tiara 5K, sponsored by the Women's Fund of Southeastern Massachusetts. Good luck to you, Valerie.
Thank you very much.
Lynn, great to see you again. Good
As
luck
always,
to you.
Jim. Same to you.
And Townsquare Sunday will return in just one moment.